Hey, everybody. It is the Conservation Conversation, first episode of 2022, episode number 53. Very excited to be back and to have an amazing guest like we have today. My good friend, Thulani, who is a conservation filmmaker. And today I really wanted to talk about how important cameras are, how important documentaries are, how important it is for us to really highlight and illustrate the issues that we have at hand. And in that case, in that way, we're going to be able to point out the problems, which is the only way we're going to create a conversation that can lead to actual change. So, sorry, I'm handheld today. Anyway, I'm excited to be back. I've missed being part of the community. I've missed having everybody here. I've been doing a lot of traveling and a lot of videos coming up. We've been working on a lot of productions. I've also been having to kind of deal with some health issues. So anyway, all those distractions aside, I'm excited for our first show of 2022. And without much further waiting, let's go ahead and start it up. Here we go. Anyway, it's great to see everybody again. Like I said, a very exciting day today. You know, there's so much happening in the world of conservation, but one thing that we're finding is that a lot of the conversations that we need to be having about conservation have been kind of disappearing in the public debate. So it's really important, the work of people like Thulani, and I can't wait. We're going to bring him on here in just a quick second. And I encourage everybody to ask him questions, talk to him, learn what's going on out there. You know, he's the eyes and the ears that allow the rest of the world to take a look and see what's happening. And it's more important than ever as we find mainstream media channels starting to remove their interest in helping continue conservation type of efforts. So let's see, what I would like to do is, as we always like to do in the show, I wanted to start off today with a quote. And this quote is exactly about what Thulani's work is. And this quote is, boom, if we do not do something to prevent it, Africa's animals and the places in which they live will be lost to our world and her children. Nelson Mandela. And that is where we find ourselves today, engaged in a all-out battle to preserve what we have left, to stop the loss of what we have left. And people like Thulani are out there making it happen. So let's go ahead and bring Thulani on and let's talk to him. Hey, Thulani, how are you?
I'm good, Eric. How are you?
Very good. Thank you so much for joining us today and spending some time to talk to us.
I can't hear it. I think there's a problem with the audio there. I don't know what's happening.
Okay, let's see.
There's a problem with the audio there. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, it sounds like it's echoing a little bit. Are you able to potentially use headphones? It might be doing a double echo from it.
No,
all right.
Yeah.
Okay. No problem. We'll work on that, and let's see. We'll have Thulani up here live in a second.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, there you go. Sound great.
Okay, let me just try to.
All right. Hello, Coralie. Hey, Heather. Hi, Jan. Thank you, everybody, for joining. This is a very exciting episode. I'm a big fan of Thulani's work, so okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there you go. That sounds good. You sound like a DJ now. All right. Well, let's see. So, Thulani, thank you again. Thank you for joining us today. It's really exciting to be able to talk to you about all the projects you're working on and to give access to the audience to get to talk to you and learn more about you and your work. Okay, we're still having a few issues here.
Rick, do you mind if I can connect with my?
Okay, we're going to bring Thulani
My
on
phone
here.
because I think there's a problem.
There we go. How's that sound, Thulani? And everybody,
Yeah.
welcome to live podcast.
Sure. Cool.
Never know what's going to happen. Okay, there we go. So super happy. Okay, good. Thank you, Thulani. Really, really appreciate you taking the time to be here today. You're usually out in the field. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and the projects that you've been working on? I'd love to hear what projects you're on right now.
Yeah. I've been working on a documentary for human wildlife conflict.
I think we're still getting a slight. Echo there.
Sorry.
We're hearing a little bit of an echo.
Yeah, let me just try to use my phone. Let me just be.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, well, so what I'd like to do right now, while we're waiting for Thulani to connect, it's always a challenge because we have guests from all over the world. And, you know, it's pretty amazing. There is a consistent sort of cell phone signal worldwide. I've gotten cell phone signals in the most remote places, but they're very often up and down. So it can be a little bit difficult. So while we're waiting for Thulani, what I'd like to do is show you some of his incredible work. Excuse me. So Thulani is not only a filmmaker, but he is also a photographer and has some of the most beautiful imagery. So I wanted to share with you some of his images and to give you a real sense of the world that Thulani is out engaging in, watching, and learning. Because when it comes to conservation and it comes to especially work in Africa, South Africa, a lot of us are watching it from a distance and we all want to help. And we all want to know how we can help more. And somebody like Thulani is able to bring us in to that world and to let us experience and see these types of images that we've never seen before. And I know that he does a lot of work with Wildlife Trust. So this is a really good one, Wild Dog Ranger, great Wildlife Trust. I know Thulani works with them quite a bit. Now we're going to get into this later. These are what are called eco bricks. And we'll talk about this later on with Thulani, but again, these are some beautiful zebras. I've personally never seen a zebra in person. So, you know, instead of going to a zoo where they're being exploited and bred in misery, I would rather see Thulani's work. And I think that is where the real true value of, especially today, we have the ability to reach all audiences. And so Thulani's work is extremely important because it will show us how beautiful and how amazing the world is around us. And I think once we can see that and we share in it and we have an emotional connection to the world around us, then we're going to really, really be able to think about solutions and to think forward. Yes, Jan, I am as well. Great admirer of Thulani's work. You know, he is nonstop. He is out in the field every day working. He's got multiple projects. And I'm very excited to have him on the show today, and I'm very excited to work with him. We're actually putting together a project to work on together soon. So let's see, we're going to bring him back in, and let's see how this works, Thulani. Okay, here we go. I feel really underdressed. There you go. Let's straighten up my t-shirt. Okay, can you hear me, Thulani? I'm not getting any audio from you. All right. So I would love to know what questions, if everybody can start to think of some questions they'd like to ask Thulani and place them in the comment section, we'll put them online and hear directly from the man himself. So Thulani, if I'm not quite sure if you can hear me, I'm still unable to hear you. Your microphone is off at the moment. If you can click the little microphone icon, it should bring you back in with us. And the first question that I wanted to ask you is, and this is something that I always love talking to documentary filmmakers about, why is what compels you? Why are you out there doing this? Because I know that you're somebody that goes out and tackles stories that are important to you, your community, your family, your friends, and the entire world. I mean, everything that happens to every one of these animals the few animals that we have left is very important. And I know you work on human wildlife conflict stories, but what compels you? Why are you out there with your camera every day? Tap the microphone, Thulani. Yes, if possible, you should see a little red microphone on there. Currently, your microphone is off. So yeah, we'll try to get Thulani up and running here. There's always some technical challenges, but as I was saying, it's very important because we're looking at a world right now where the scientists are saying they're predicting anywhere from 5 to 25 years for environmental collapse. And that is due to climate change, biodiversity issues, carbon dioxide sequestration issues, which go hand in hand with deforestation. The deforestation creates the carbon. Trees are the perfect elements to sequester carbon dioxide emissions. So the best thing we can do for the world is to have more trees. But the problem is we're finding more and more often that the trees are being destroyed for profit worldwide. It is a major issue. So that is another aspect that is challenging. Now Africa as an entire continent has always been a continent where the rest of the world has stolen their gems, whether it's diamonds, whether it's elephants, whether it's gorillas. All these animals and these rare earth elements have been stolen for riches in the rest of the world. And what we're finding is the most important area is where we have been taking everything from. And this is the area Thulani works in. And this is why it's so important for us to really get a firsthand view of what's happening down there. There we go. Hey, Thulani, can you hear me? Okay. Oh, I see. Okay, we still have an issue with the audio there. So, that is one thing I wanted to discuss is what are solutions? I'd love to hear everybody's questions for Thulani, as well as solutions involved in how we can change where we're going right now. Now, one of them, as I was just showing everybody before, is an amazing thing called eco-bricks. Now, I don't know if you are familiar or not with eco-bricks. But I wanted to show you all, where is this photo here? This beautiful photo of a house made of eco-bricks. Now, eco-bricks are an attempt to change the way things are done. Now, if you look at this photo, you'll see that it appears to be all these dots in there. Those are actually plastic bottles that cannot be recycled, plastic bottles that will end up in the environment. So what communities around the world are doing is putting dirt inside of them and then using them as bricks inside of buildings. It's a brilliant way to do it. It is one of the most innovative forms of recycling, and it's something that's really important. I've seen it in Cambodia. I've seen it in Vietnam. I've seen it all around the world, and it's a really, really wonderful idea, and it's just as sturdy, and it also removes these elements. And if we can't get rid of them, right? If plastic cannot be removed from the earth, if plastic can only be dealt with, as we all know, the amount of plastic made is the amount of plastic stayed in our world. So what can we do? Well, here's a great way where we're kind of burying it into a building and not letting it back out into nature, which is the most important thing I think that we can do. Now, one of the very interesting aspects is that Thulani works on a lot of animal-human conflicts. And that's something I really wanted to talk about. I'm afraid we're having some technical issues with Thulani right now. We're going to try to bring him back on and continue this show a little bit further. So we'll kind of just do a little bit of talking today, and then we'll wrap it up and we'll bring Thulani back. We'll find another method to get him online with us. But one of the most important things is the human-animal conflicts, because a lot of times what we have is, and this is especially true in South Africa, Africa, and other areas, you have small places where the animals are worth more dead than alive. If somebody is starving, they can poach and they can, sell parts of the animals off. that unfortunately is an economic disparity, and it's an economic issue that a lot of people have to deal with. So I'm not here to judge anybody that is forced into that, but I think the key is finding solutions where they don't have to resort to poaching. And there's a lot of great programs out there that are doing that right now. But in order to understand it, we have to go look at this human-wildlife conflict, and that is an issue Thulani's really been paying attention to. Let's see if hopefully we get him back again. Okay, see if Thulani can connect with us. Now, one of the issues, as well, as you can see right now, is the internet, where Thulani lives. So, I mean, it's almost hard to imagine a world where you don't have a stable internet connection. So many of us are so used to being able to go everywhere and do this. I highly encourage everybody to go to Thulani's profile. And if they can go to Thulani's profile, there is actually a video he made, and it explains it perfectly. It's a beautiful video, and it will show you some of the issues that they face there with the internet. And Thulani has been part of trying to push to bring more internet to his community. And it's really important that he's doing that. So that is something that I'm really in admiration of, that he's working on. He's trying to improve his community, his world, his environment, everything. The man is devoted to positive change, which I love. So I was going to show you a few more of Thulani's photos. Here is Thulani out in the field working. He works tirelessly. He is always out there. And there he is. He's like myself. You know, a lot of us eco-documentary filmmakers, we work on the fly. You know, we're not sitting in studios editing stuff. We're not thinking, over an iced latte with almond milk, by the way, because I'm vegan, or soy milk. But we're not doing that. We're not sitting back, taking a theoretical approach to things. We're in the field, and we're editing in the field. We're shooting in the field. We live in the field. And that is one thing I really respect about Thulani's work, is he gets his work done in the field. And sometimes we're so far away from the studio and from the comforts of home. And it helps us live in our environments that we're working in. So I think it's really important that he does that. Let's see, there he is, taking a little bit of a break. Look at that. Who wouldn't love to be sitting there in that gorgeous river? I really like it. Now here he is shooting some more video to try to get the story told about not only the internet, but the human-wildlife conflict. So unfortunately, we couldn't have Thulani on today, but I just wanted to, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up pretty quick and try to get Thulani back on. But it was at least great to get together today, to see everybody, to get to talk to everybody. Hey, Mitch, glad to see you on here today. Love the eco blocks. There are other blocks being made from plastics. Fantastic. I really like that. Let's see. And then this is the profile. Everybody, you can go to the comment section and click on Thulani's profile. Go check it out. His videos are outstanding. Please follow him. His work is beautiful, beautiful photography, important, meaningful. And he is one of my good friends. Like I said, Thulani and I are currently working out plans to work on a project together. So I'm very excited to do that. Let's see, Heather says, there is awesome positive carbon footprint research going on for endangered species. That's wonderful, because that is exactly what we need. We need a world where we can go ahead and be able to make that type of a change. You know, we have to start thinking bigger. Animal endangerment, carbon issues, climate change, human issues, human water quality issues, and human quality of life issues are all integrated. So by resolving one, we're going to resolve all of them. And that's our biggest hope, is that we can do that. And work like Thulani's bring light to the entire world, can see what's happening. We don't have to hear reports. We don't have to read news stories. We don't have to read third-party things. Third-party information, who would ever believe that anyway? If somebody comes to you and say, hey man, I heard this guy told me that this guy said this thing about this other thing, and he told me this thing, you can't believe it. But if you hear it with your own ears, you can believe it. And Thulani ensures that everybody is there with him in person and can feel it, see it. You know, Stanley Kubrick was one of my favorite quotes, said it's not in the think of it, it's in the feel of it. And that's what we need to do. The rest of the world has emotion that we can all attach to. And we have to remember that we are one. We're one big family. We're one brotherhood. We're all brothers and sisters trying to save our planet. We're all part of one big army fighting for a better future for tomorrow. And I can't wait to have Thulani back on, because we are going to really, really delve further into it. What can a camera do? What power can a camera do? What kinds of change can we have? I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments also. I don't know why I called it downstairs. But yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. You know, what do you think is the most powerful avenue of change? Is it politics? Is it exposing the issues through cameras? Is it protesting? Is it petitioning? I would love to hear your thoughts, because now is the time to have the conversation about how we can all be involved in a better future, a better world, and a better tomorrow. And Mitch is one of those guys. Hey, Mitch. Yes, I'm glad to see you on here today. Thank you for joining. Mitch is another person who I can't wait. We're going to have on the show soon, and we're going to talk about some of the issues that Mitch is working on, and he deals a lot with trying to save his environment. And you know, that's just the one last point I'd like to make is that what's beautiful about where we are today is that everyone is taking control of their environment. You know, we can't save the world. We can only save the space around us. You know, that's the one we know. It's the one we feel. It's the one we sense. It's the one we grew up with. It's the one that is part of us. And that's our truth. And our truth is to save what we love, which is around us. And the more people we have around the world saving each little spot, you know, you can imagine it. It's sort of like a scale, right? And if you have a scale like this and you put one piece of sand on the scale, nothing's going to change. The scale is going to stay the same. But after thousands and thousands of pieces of sand, the scale tips. So that's what we can do, and that's what we have to do, and that's what we all do. And that's why I love being part of this community. So thanks, everybody. It was great to see you today. I'm really sorry that we had some technical issues with Thulani. We will get that fixed, and we'll be back with more shows. We're going to start doing shows every week again, going to start doing positive eco news. There is so much to discuss. I really missed everybody. It's wonderful to see everybody again. And Mitch says, start local. That is where you'll see and feel the impact. Beautifully said, Mitch. Perfect. That's it. You know, what do they say? Think universal, think global, act local. And it applies to today, because everybody has a story to tell, and everybody has an issue to battle, and everybody has a solution to offer. All right, everybody. Good to see you.